Hey lovers, we are back again with another amazing garden tour. Today we're going to be doing something really special. I have two giants in the agricultural business and food forestry landscaping here with me today. I have Mike from Ever Oak and Cameron James. If you live in the Orlando area, then I'm sure you've heard of them because what they're doing is amazing for edible landscaping and luxury landscaping. You guys are going to see what it's like to maintain, prune, and keep up with a beautiful edible landscape, and just what is possible when you're using abundance and life and no pesticides and organic growing methods. So stay tuned, this is a really good one.
Mike, I hear so much about you from everybody.
Yeah.
Likewise with you, man.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, T-R-E. Yeah, with an accent. It's French.
Cool. Welcome.
Yes, thank you, man.
I'm standing amongst giants.
Yeah, no, literally. I mean, this guy right here is literally a giant, though.
I feel so small every time I run.
Yeah, and you're like 6 something.
I would never expect that.
No?
No.
Camera's deceiving.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, I actually gotta look
If you see
up.
me standing next to Tyler, then you notice it.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Hey, man.
Hi.
Trey.
Hi, I'm Kayla.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to
It's a little wild. Got a lot
Good morning, sir.
Crazy the alignment. We pulled in
No,
at
I
the same
saw that. I was
time.
like, oh, I see the ladder in the back window.
You're like, you know who that is?
Yep.
What's going on, my
I
brother?
forgot y'all were coming through.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm happy
Yeah,
to see
man.
y'all.
Now, happy to see you too, boss. Yes, sir. I'm good. I'm blessed, man. Yourself?
Good, man. I'm good.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
you
what's
my
up,
brother,
bro.
too.
Nice to meet you. I'm Kayla.
I'm Colleen.
Yeah. Oh, you're so cold.
Seat in there.
I brought you some flowers,
Oh my
and there's some handmade soap in here,
That's
and
so
Epsom
beautiful.
salt soap.
You're so sweet.
Of
Thank
course.
you. Aww.
Facts. The saws? No, the saw.
Oh,
Silky
the
stuff?
silkies?
Yep.
Yeah, bro, I'm so pissed that I lost that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
The
I didn't
reason
know you
why I
had
bought
one.
this
That's
one
a
is because
really
it's
good
so
one.
nice. And
Yeah,
it's a $70
I've been
piece.
slowly trying to work.
Oh, whoa.
What?
Last time you did that, I didn't like it.
What,
So I'm
this
gonna say
one?
no. I don't know. I didn't like the result.
I think it was because it was pruners.
Is that what you did it on?
Yeah.
Okay. Then this would make more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I use this on my machetes all the time though. It works really nice.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you did it on last time, I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was because it was, I think it was pruners.
Okay, that might have made sense.
Yeah, I don't
like
I don't
these.
sharpen my pruners anymore. Just getting
Yeah, they don't work after you sharpen them. Maybe it doesn't make sense, but
Nah, that ain't sharp. That could be sharper.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely can be sharper. Sharper.
Feel-
okay. Then you can do it on the machine.
There. Feel that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Proceed. Whatever the last. Well, seriously, thank you guys for coming out. This is a family property. I live here. Most of you guys know. Some of you guys are here for the first time. I'm just grateful to do this. I think everybody here loves the work that we do, and thank you, Darren, for really getting this started by being on me for the last year and a half to get this into a presentable form for like more luxury real estate and people that like help get this out, right? You guys have done an awesome job, Kayla. You doing awesome on your YouTube. Mecca's now on it. Mike's been running the farm. You've been in this industry for a long time, and we got the husbands that
Yes, sir.
your families, right? But yeah, so the goals today, I wanted to do a quick huddle with Darren as far as if he wants to chime in on anything as far as flowing, but like I said, it's super organic, super authentic. Y'all know what we do when we go in there with machetes and just start swinging away and working. So now the actual work, the main thing is like to create transformation, right? So it's the stuff that needs to be done, which is the Napier grass, Mexican sunflowers, the canna lilies, the vetiver grasses, any of the clumps grass. So anything that can be eliminated, terminate it. Anything that the canopy could be lifted, we can lift the canopy. And then other than that, I think the other major one was thinning out some of the bananas.
Beautiful.
That's literally
So
that's
biomass management and some strata pruning.
Yep, and oh yes, I guess bananas
Yeah.
would be biomass. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much the main thing. And then if there's any specific questions, just grab me and ask me. You know what I mean? Because there's some more stuff that I want to do. I kind of want to prune my fruit trees. So you leave those because that's part of my learning experience as I go throughout the years. You know what I mean? I think we all kind of need that. So you can keep those. Other than that, I think we'll just walk through. So maybe if you just want to keep rolling, we'll kind of continue this little powwow as we go. Let's just do a quick walkthrough through, and I'll point things out because there are some fruit trees that are hidden. So maybe keep you guys an FYI on like where to not just swing the machete. But cool. Any questions from y'all? Or?
Nope.
Go for it.
Cool.
Do it.
Let's do it. Let's go through the front. So we'll go this way. Go down the front of the store.
One girl. You got a whole army of dudes in one day.
Hold it down.
Yeah, Colleen jokes, by the way, she's a harvester.
Okay.
You know, I mean, she ain't a gardener, she ain't a food forester.
But that means she can cook and preserve.
She does, right? I told her, so if you took that piece of it, I said planting is one thing, managing is another thing, harvesting is another thing, but processing,
Hey,
somebody
that's
process.
the big one. That's the big
Which
piece.
one?
Processing.
Yeah, right?
Preserving. It's a lot. It's I feel like it's more work than this.
No, it definitely is. I mean, I think about these, I told Tyler yesterday, I said, somebody's sitting there doing this with the pigeon peas. Somebody getting the pigeon peas out, man. If I buy a 25-pound bag, who's sitting there doing that, right?
Yo, me.
It's a very real thing.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So again, you guys are totally welcome to be in Mecca. You are with the branded material. I know a lot of this is gonna be branded. Don't feel like you gotta be wet. You get what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I know Darren's maximizing us being here, but everything's welcome. So cool. Let's just walk through this thing. I'm gonna leave the bucket up at the front. I'm assuming we'll all just start in the same area and then jump over each other. So y'all see it.
Yeah. This is the Mac Daddy.
I know Mike's brain's firing off right now.
Oh, bro, you got so much Napier cane.
So I will say this, because
yeah.
we are here to eat, I do want to say with the bananas, do keep the biggest ones and keep the ones like the pups that look good, you know what I mean? So like maybe cut out the middle ones, cut out water pups, or cut out anything that's growing on top of each other, just clearing space. But we do want to eat, so it's not just for management. So if there's any big ones, leave them. You'll see a couple racks that are in there. But like these ones, there's 3, right? We could probably eliminate 2. Like keep one of the bigger ones and keep one of the smaller ones. You know what I mean? So that would be consistent throughout. Or if they're in good health, like those bananas, we can keep the grandmother, mother, daughter.
So you want to at least manage 3 to 4 stems
I'd say, yeah, we can go to 3 or 4.
3 or 4 per stem, per clump.
Yeah, the real major clumps is going to be that one in the middle and then the one on the far side. But again, if y'all got questions, just ask. I'm not being super picky about it. I trust your guys' expertise in doing this and whatnot. But Napier grass, there's like sensitive, there's like sweet almond. There's a bunch of little shrubs just mixed throughout. I'm not trying to name them specifically, but feel free to prune them. So Napier. There's an elderberry inside of here that can be pruned heavy. I will say, if you know that the deer eat it, try to prune it a little bit higher because they don't let it come back, if you know what I mean. The Napier, the bananas, the canna lilies, they don't eat any of these. So this can be eliminated, thinned out. There's also a sugar apple back there.
We're just chopping and dropping everything in place.
Yeah, wherever you guys feel is good. You see the fruit trees, so if you want to feed them, that's great.
Well, real quick, make sure when you chop and drop the Napier grass, the cane, don't let it come in contact with the soil. Put the leafier stuff down on the soil and put the canes on top. If not, we're just going to have Napier sprawling everywhere. You can see all these Napiers already setting roots on the canes already. But typically when you have Napier in your system and you're not looking to propagate, you want to manage this way before the canes develop.
Do you want to pull some of the canes out so that you can have...
Or do you need to propagate elsewhere?
Want to, yes, but y'all see the surplus here.
Yeah,
so if you see a couple nice canes, maybe just throw them in the pathways, and I'll go through at the end when you guys leave and pull them. So if you see those thick ones, give me the thick ones. And don't feel like you gotta dice them up, but I want to do this as an insert, so we will finish this walkthrough real quick.
Okay.
Holy crud. Chopping like 5 at a time.
Salmon reactor stuffing the ingredients. What are we trying to do? How are you trying to feed these right now?
Yeah, I'm literally putting it around the fruit tree or just covering the soil.
That's lemongrass and this is vetiver grass. One down.
Yeah, right? I'm like, holy crap. You ain't waste no time getting in there.
No, you got to. There's a lot of.
Also, there are some micro sprinklers that you might step on. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I see it.
So you prefer to use the smaller cutters instead of a machete?
Well, the machete works good, but this also works well, and I'm using it mostly because there's so many of us working. It's a little safer, you know?
Right.
But they honestly work about the same.
Right.
Here's what you can do.
Off the irrigation, especially with the rain. So you want to do this pruning when the precipitation rate is higher than the evaporation rate.
Okay.
You have a bunch of moisture in there.
You said you do it when
Remind me.
the precipitation rate is higher than the evaporation?
Yeah. Sometimes you need water and sunlight, right?
You never seen
Yeah.
an avatar?
So
an
precipitation
avatar.
rate's higher
Okay, yeah, I know.
The dude who gets
than the humidity, than the evaporation rate.
I think
What
I
does
know
that
what
equal?
you're talking about, but it's
What?
Right? So when you have humidity, plants can pull water in through their leaves through something called transpiration.
Okay.
They're like breathing water through their leaves.
Right.
So if they have moisture in the air, they can get it from there, even when they can't get it from the air, from the rain.
Right.
And then you have certain plants that hold the moisture in. So you have
Oh.
these banana roots that got moisture in them. You have these canes that have moisture in them.
Right.
And now there's moisture in the soil. And now when these other roots, these other trees that don't hold as much, they go, ooh, I need water. I'm going to grow towards the bananas. I'm going to grow towards the grasses.
Oh.
And again, I'm giving you third grade language,
Yeah.
not the science.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot bigger words involved in explaining this.
Yeah. So I'm going to make this a little bit more manageable.
Interesting.
Because this is a little bit less caney, a little bit more leaves. Remember what Mike was saying? This would be good for going near a fruit tree. So I'm going to try to suffocate this grass out around this peak. So the nutrients in napier grass, Mike?
Biomass, but also when fresh green manure like this, as it decomposes, that actually releases a little bit of nitrogen.
Wow, so you're telling me that I didn't have to go to Home Depot 5 minutes down the road, spend $25 on some
Nope.
fertilizer?
And then what's also happening too, since we're coming in here pruning, there's a growth pulse that's going to happen that the plants are going to start releasing a growth hormone called gibberic acid. So from this heavy pruning that we're doing, not only is it getting fed with all that rich green manure going on top, which is slowly going to release nitrogen into the soil, but down in the root zone, it's starting to release a root growth hormone called gibberic acid.
So just like humans, they're all working together. Like all these plants are working together. So if some get stimulated and you do a massive prune all at the same time, you would say even these ones not getting pruned get that same gibberic acid.
They're benefiting. That's why we're also planting at a high density and creating that internet highway of fungi and bacteria that they're exchanging nutrients and resources with each other. So even the ones that don't get heavily pruned are part of that communication highway, and it's taking in some of the gibberic acid. So, but also another thing, when you get cane napier like this, best way process it. Fold it on top of half of each other, and then I'll fold it back again. And then you got this nice bundle on that we can place on top of here. And I want the canes to stay on top because napier can become super invasive, and it is invasive because from these nodules here, they'll set roots and then a whole nother grass blade pops through. And that usually happens when you get a nice soil contact with the cane. So to prevent that, we want the blade to come in contact with the soil and just have this at the surface so it just kind of dries up and doesn't want to root and give up. So that's how you would manage napier grass that goes to cane. Ideally, when you're having napier grass in your system, you only want it to grow out to the blades. You want to get it right before the canes actually form, just because it makes management easier. So, but sometimes life happens and it gets away from us, and this is just another way to manage it.
The eucalyptus.
Yeah, lemon. That's a lemon from the farm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, I want it. Everyone can get intoxicated real quick. A nice refreshing boost.
My roommate, my sister, she's gonna make some. She's gonna make a tincture.
Oh
She's gonna
yes.
try to learn how to do it, how to extract that oil off of it.
I want to keep these and make a Christmas tree.
You're a little early, huh?
Yeah, but hey, before you know it, it'll be here. But it's so pretty.
Oh, yeah.
All you need is some twine, and it smells heavenly.
Let me smell it.
Oh, I didn't like.
Nah, you did everybody but your husband. Stinks.
I need to get over here.
I'll make some mosquito repellent.
The big dog.
I'm not too worried about the bananas coming back.
Yeah,
Or excuse me, not the prune.
So those bananas won't grow back?
They will grow back from the ground.
Yeah.
Not from. I meant like he's talking about the canes on the sugar cane. These will not.
Oh, okay.
We already got some pathways.
Yeah, they move fast.
Yeah, now you'll see the original design.
Word.
They move fast.
Yeah. We over there doing what we can, but Mike get into it because Mike used to this.
Yeah.
That you got in here?
Yep. I didn't want to get in the way, but yeah, I got in there a little bit.
Yeah, he has some coconut.
Bro, I'm telling you, my sugar apples didn't even drop leaves.
Is there a coconut? A tree?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. And there's another big one. There's a few coconuts.
There's like 6.
I thought that's what that was.
And what is this?
This is elderberry.
Oh.
So I'm just kind of managing, lifting the skirt up a bit, thinning out some of the shoots that are here. This is a good biomass producer, fits in that medium strata. Also nice to feed the ecology as well, because first off, elderberry is nice for us as medicine, and also birds love it, and the flowers attract pollinators. So it's really nice support species to have. So. And it's a native.
Mango.
Oh, word.
Yeah. You want to make sure you don't knock
We
them
love
back.
natives. One of the trees wanted to say hey.
I just know they're ready to be harvested
Well,
soon.
the unfortunate part is that they're ripe and you didn't find them.
Yes, I know.
That's the guy.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I committed murder by not eating mango.
A mango?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big one. All right, Cameron, while you're working, what inspired this food for us?
The Lord.
Awesome.
Absolutely. It was a message from God a couple years ago.
Okay.
I was sitting on my yoga mat in 21. After 2020 was pretty crazy. And I spent 9 months really praying about what are we supposed to be doing, what actually matters, what's important, and strip everything away that's not important. And it was very clear that I was told to grow food, and that's where the Grow Food shirt came from.
Beautiful.
Started with the shirt,
Awesome.
through all the iterations, that's the Grow Food company.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so this is to feed our family and to take care of our neighbors and our communities.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
so you weren't growing food at all before
I had no
the mess?
experience leading up to that.
Wow.
No interest, nobody in the family.
Tomatoes when I was 5, I'll say that. So that's gardening and cool.
Ooh, yes,
Wow.
that's awesome. And
Yeah.
look at all this. You guys, we're surrounded by food right now. Everywhere you look, there's things that can be eaten or used to take care of the body. And all of this is a full system. There's no pesticides or weird fertilizers. There's a big mango. A couple of them behind him.
Oh wow, I
All
didn't
of
even
that
see
happened
that
in
tree.
5 years. So all it takes is a spark.
Yes, ma'am.
Period. Yeah, this is beautiful. Yeah.
Get out your way.
I mean, in this, this is where between where Tyler's at right here. I mean, this is probably 500 square feet. We got coconuts, multiple bananas, longans, peaches, elderberries, papaya, gingers, turmeric, mangoes, sugar apples, cassava.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's like in 500 square feet.
Yes.
And mind you, like, don't get me wrong, we might be a little bit out of maintenance with this being so far. But this is one time that we're really touching this area in a year and a half.
Wow.
So you talk about the amount of work that goes into this.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a lot of work up front to plant it, and if you're paying somebody else to do it, then it costs, right? But like I haven't spent any time in here. And when we're done with this area, what we'll say, it took an hour for 3 guys to get in here, so call it 2 hours worth of work.
Right.
You know what I mean, to come in and prune it. And that's what would you say, Mike, twice a year you probably should be doing this, maybe 3 times?
Depending on the season.
So
I would probably say about 4 times a year.
So let's say conservatively, you're talking about, even if you round up and said 15 hours a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're talking about 15 hours a year in 500 square feet.
For self-sufficiency, having your own medicine, having your own food in abundance.
You can plug in herbs in here and edible flowers. There's so much mulch.
Yeah, this is
This
definitely.
is so much mulch, bro.
Yeah,
The whole area is covered.
yeah. With organic, free fertilizers. That's also working as water retention.
Yeah, whatever you need to do. Yeah, actually, you know what? It looks like you're already doing it, but I do want to walk the bananas towards Mike because this mango's getting shaded out a little bit. So thank you for this is perfect.
So this one?
Yeah, dude, I even say unless this is that route. No, well, 1, 2, and 3, and push it that way.
Okay.
You get what I mean? Because
Yeah,
this guy's getting shaded. He's starting to grow that way.
Alright, we can make this got there. Can you just spin backwards? It's gonna fall towards you. You don't have to go that far.
I don't know if I can. I'm gonna come over here on these cans. We'll lay them on top.
All right.
Yeah, bro, I can probably. Like, we could probably pull some of this. Let's see the other side.
There's not a lot there.
It's lighter.
Yeah.
It looks like Malachi got the grasses, but yeah, it's just not as much.
Lace, propagate some more napier.
You're right. I planned on doing that, like you said. Do I got seeds ready? I got seeds and I got sticks.
Yeah.
And I want to do more cassava.
Yeah, so it's really wet, and then we put it on the ground.
Yeah, I'm just taking my time.
Oh, what? I see you putting it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna keep that like that?
I want to have the
It
satisfaction.
was here. Oh, of the before and after.
Yeah, like seeing the whole thing.
No,
It propagates from cut. If you want.
Yeah, I didn't even see the mango.
Right.
I'm like, oh, the mango tree? Been a lot of mangoes?
Yeah.
Thank you. This stuff looks so healthy. Oh, it's a whole. Is this what you're talking about?
What? Yeah. There you go.
I didn't know.
Down the hole.
Your thumb came out the glove. You got 2 thumbs.
Right? Which one gonna help?
What I would do next is cut all of it.
Okay. I'm done with filming. I'm about to get in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been working a little bit.
Ooh.
Oh, no, are you using that now?
Drop it all and then refill it and pull it all out.
Let me see if somebody else got it nice.
You want to get this one down? Yeah, go.
I just heard someone talking shit about my food for like Tyler.
Talking that trash.
Like Malachi food for it, the spacing is so tight. You know it's what he said.
Is that what he said?
You know it's what he said. There's no space in there.
I heard it's beautiful and he wants it just like yours. I don't know.
Y'all saw the spacing though. I got planted on top of each other.
Yeah. Nah, I like it.
Yeah, it works. How can I range these? So we're gonna make an edge around the perimeter. Kind of like this.
Split that log standing up. You can split that log.
Yeah.
Cause the way yours is spaced, like everything is in its. I mean, of course, it's by you didn't have a choice, but it's all in its area.
Yeah.
I know especially when she first started in our backyard, she was just putting things everywhere. It'd be like a plant here and way over there, and I'm like, yo, we still have to live here too, you know.
Have space for all the other activities.
Yeah, like I want to run around the backyard with the kids and stuff. So.
You're gonna be running around this. You're gonna have to prune something to run.
Right? Just bring a machete. So this is pretty much what you guys do on a daily at your customers' homes?
Maintenance, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time though, for this company, we just do installs.
Okay.
So it's mostly just planting the systems, and then we'll have like 1 or 2 guys go out over time and manage.
Right.
That usually ends up being me. I do a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
Clients.
Do you prefer to do the maintenance or the installs? Like, do you have a preference?
I prefer the installs.
Yeah.
They pay better.
Or
Installs pay better. Maintenance is like more work for less money.
right.
So I enjoy the dividends of the installs.
Yeah.
It's also just more rewarding to like plant a system out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Versus like coming in here and chopping, dropping everything. It's fun, but like that's the real work.
Right. Yeah, I feel you.
I love it all though. Don't get me wrong. I love every part of it. And I don't do it for the money either.
Yeah. It's just a perk.
Exactly.
But I guess that's why you prefer the planting more, because like you said, it's more rewarding, like fulfilling to the soul, because it's like you're setting up a whole new system, putting life back into the land. And
I do like managing them too, though. I do like seeing how stuff grows over time, in
Right.
different situations and systems and whatnot. So
right.
it's just a balance thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of biomass in here, though.
Yeah, no, it's a whole lot. But you guys are getting through it fast.
Yeah, we trying, man.
This is why you gotta hire the grow food company. Oh.
Set this aside, which I'll process that even further. And then upright, I like to just split it up. It makes it easier on the management. That likes to go ahead and slide it down. Sharp machete really helps. And then I come through here, cut it at an angle. As close to the soil line as possible.
You cut the napier at an angle with the machete.
And I want to try and collect water in that bowl, so it prevents any borer beetles, which we really don't have an issue here, but you don't want to become a problem down the line. So that excess, that bowl right there will fill up with water, and just as I'll still come through here and pour it out. Just make sure it doesn't sprout out, because bananas will want to re-sprout until you see that solid white core. I must make sure that's picked out. That's going to fill up we'll come back here in an hour. That will be filled with water, and that just prevents any borer beetles from coming in. And you want this down to the soil, because this is eventually going to just rot and feed it.
Wow.
And you don't want these rotting stems sticking out on that. It just makes it look sloppy and just makes management a little difficult.
Yes.
So then we'll cut these into our desirable size. And then we'll go ahead, we'll give some TLC to this mango here. So we'll organize all this organic material at the base.
Somebody just talked about it the other day. Somebody pretty significant in this.
That's just all organic matter. Especially during if it's ever dry too. This is just, when you're planting bananas, it's straight water. So it's nice. Bananas are definitely encouraged to have in your garden. It keeps water into the landscape. I guarantee if I make a little insertion at the base of that banana, it spews out like a spigot. Actually, I'll show you. I'll sacrifice one. Just show you. Bro, you got abundance mindset. You got abundance here. Abundance here. So, real quick, let's see. I'm not sure what this variety, but all bananas are the same. I grow a tremendous amount on my farm, but you can look. And there's usually, yours is not as watery as mine.
It's a monster.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, but typically when you go to my farm, I can show you some bananas I have, and you'll literally peck it here and it's just gushing with water.
You know
I think every cultivar is different. So,
but that's also.
but anyways,
your
it's
soil.
still water, moisture, organic matter, keeping the soil covered, feeding the soil, and feeding our trees, yeah.
For sure.
Now come through here and organize all.
I got it.
Okay, cool.
What are you talking about?
Or is this toilet paper?
So yeah, bananas is great not only for fruit but for biomass as well. So for dual purpose species. Because ideally, how I personally manage it, and it's always a personal preference, I usually keep about 3 per clump and keep that rotation of grandmother, mother, daughter at different stages as well.
So where's the grandmother, mother, daughter?
So in this one, I would say the one that's setting fruit.
Behind you will be a good example.
Oh yeah, you got one there. Okay. But in this method, just in case if somebody has like a massive cluster like this would be the grandmother one setting fruit already.
Got you.
The one next behind, I would choose the mother will probably be one around these two here. And then the daughter will be like a pup right here.
Okay.
And I'll show the one that Cam just pointed out because it is a good example. This is a perfect example of a good managed clump. Grandmother, mother, daughter. So whatever other pups come out this way, you'll kind of keep thinning them out. But the idea is to kind of space and stagger them out a bit. It's good to know what cultivars you have, but for the most part, most dwarf varieties take 12 months from pup to fruit. That's why in this area, dwarfs are great to plant in Central Florida. They're cold hardy. They also can handle our hurricane winds, so you won't like tall bananas like that can't handle the wind too well, but dwarf type varieties like this will handle our hurricane force winds. And they're more cold hardy as well, and they're easier to manage. It's when you get these big bananas or tall varieties, it could get a little intimidating. But any little pups that pop through here, I would knock them off. Once it's set fruit, then this will become the grandmother, this will become the mother, and then the daughter will emerge. So, and that's that management that you want to keep for bananas, for productive banana racks.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool.
So once
Thank you,
grandmother
Mike.
produces fruit,
She's one and done.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she's done her life purpose.
know that, did you?
Yeah, I did.
She has her next,
I can't remember who taught me, but one of these growers.
Yeah, her next successor is in place.
Cam looking real
And
serious.
once it's at fruit, yeah, it's done its life purpose. So, bananas is a pseudo stem. Everyone calls it trees, but it's actually an herb, and it's an herbaceous plant. And bananas are actually berries. Right. Yeah.
Huh.
So,
all right, Cam, can I get you to stop
Yeah.
and do this dance real quick? You do this, and then you do this. All right, you got it? Yep, okay. You got it. Hold on. Perfect. Okay, you want to come on, Darren?
Hey, that was phenomenal, man. You gotta quit this day. You gotta quit this garden work.
tell me
Okay,
one more time.
this,
I don't want to.
this.
not propagated elsewhere.
Okay. One step, two step. Hey, you got it.
All right. Y'all didn't pay me to dance.
Just add it in the invoice. I'm sure it'll take care of you.
We got Mike here. Cutting up bananas. We've been cutting napier grass over here. I cut some Mexican sunflowers. So even though this might be low maintenance compared to
to talk about Tithonia management.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Yeah, now he trying to teach.
I'll wait till these guys get here because this is a big no-no if you want easy management. So I'll wait till they get here. Damn, that smells good, bro. Yeah.
Cuban oregano.
Is this the
Toilet
That's
paper.
toilet
paper.
Blue spur.
Yeah.
Oh,
So a lot of people hate Tithonia, and that's just because they don't know how to manage it. But it's an amazing biomass producer. It's just learning curve of managing it. So when you come in hacking it, you always want to cut as low as possible. And Tithonia is easier to manage when the stems are green and tender like that. So to get consistent shoots and biomass production that has this nice, easy managed tender cut, you always want to reset it or cut it as low as possible to the root ball. You're not going to kill this plant. It's damn near almost impossible. And there is a technique on removing it. Once you're ready to remove Tithonia out, there's a way to do it. But what ends up happening here is if you leave it like this, it's going to have a reactive response and shoot out a bunch of side shoots. And then it's going to get even more wider and more bushier and shrubbier. And this is going to get even harder and harder. So every time I come and manage Tithonia, right off the bat, when it's super young, I always try and hit it as low as possible. But once in a while, it does happen that you start getting this woodier stuff because every time you cut it, this stuff gets woodier and then it pushes more energy out. You want to grab a saw and cut it right at the soil. So usually I have a sawzall that'll do this, save energy. But
I have one if you want.
I got it. This is quick and it's only one. When you're managing 200, 300, 500 of these plants, then it helps. But typically that's where you want to make sure you're managing them right off the bat, managing them well. And then this is how Tithonia should be cut. By next week, this is going to have a bunch of flush of like thin tender, and then it'll just grow straight up. And then you'll have more stems that are looking like
The funniest
this.
thing about this, if you look at it, this was a fallen branch.
Yeah.
This wasn't. This was the one that fell. So you talk about, see how it went roots itself.
Yeah.
So this fell down. This woody part fell on the side, and that's actually where this came from.
So, just saying, it's an amazing thing, but it can be invasive and it can be a nuisance. You always want to manage it as best as possible. So, for example, here, this was cut. So this part's going to start getting woodier, and then all this tender stuff. So then it makes it harder to manage it with a machete. So my goal is to manage with one tool as much as possible. I don't want to keep switching off because just for the efficiency. But at a small scale like this, it's manageable. But when you're doing large-scale Centropic agroforestry and you got acres that you're managing of these and multiple plant species, you want to make sure you're making it as efficient as possible. So yeah, that's all I got to say.
perfect.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you for that, Mike.
So about that sawzall.
And then
I'll get it. I'll get it.
another-
So that's what I'm kind of guessing. But see, Mike's all confused me now.
I just think you created a beautiful piece, man.
All these other branches and keep these ones that are in the house.
Whoa.
Well, we didn't cut everything at this house. So I'll cut it there, cut it there, go, you know what I mean? And just see if I can adjust. If it goes low, it goes a good.
Yeah, I need a new blade on that, clearly.
You got it? That's your sawzall?
Yeah.
Oh, you get prepared.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do it.
Well, I do home repairs, so I just got a bunch of crap in my truck.
Oh, you're going right at that.
So for do it like how you said.
Yeah, no, but I wouldn't go down that way. I would just cut it at that soil level, running parallel with the soil at that level. So like I would bring that sawzall
Like here.
here and just maybe cut, yeah, and it's easier to cut. And you can abuse Tithonia. So here, for example, I would just run that blade across from here. So just like hit this section here and then hit that section. And it's just like if you're cutting down a tree, like you just got to think of this as a little tree.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Much easier.
Yep.
That's much better.
And then there, and like
By
I
the way,
said,
there's a star fruit there. If you saw that,
no.
just so it doesn't fall on the star fruit.
I see it.
cut
Yeah,
the start fruit
yeah.
either.
So another thing is when you're managing this, and especially we're doing a lot of intensive planting and throwing plants on top of each other. Since this is our desirable species, take that saw and go in the opposite direction, so we don't, in case if you nick it, you don't knock that.
Right.
So
cut away from your desirables.
What are you dropping here? Plutonium. What
Oh.
you just dropped there?
Yes, man.
Yep.
The battery fell out.
Dang.
Oh yeah. You're getting crazy.
Yo.
You're smacking in it real good. Like smack.
And are you recording?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys can see that this has roots. So if you wanted to literally just take this, dig a hole in the ground, this would propagate and you have more Mexican sunflower. And it not only has roots right there, it has roots here, it has roots here, has roots here. So you can literally cut this at every node and plant this and make 1 million Mexican sunflowers. You'll have so much Mexican sunflower from this 2, maybe 3 feet of a cutting that you wouldn't even know what to do with. And this is rich in nitrogen. It builds biomass by the boatload. So this stalk right here is mulch, fertilizer, and food, if you will. So abundance upon abundance. And he has freaking, I don't even know how much Mexican sunflower back here. And all of this is fertilizer. It's also a pest deterrent. It's a weed suppressant. There's so many benefits of growing Mexican sunflower. So definitely grow it if you live in Florida or any hot climate. Ugh. It's hot as hell.
Coconuts everywhere.
Huh?
It's coconuts everywhere.
Yeah. This boy living good. I'm like, when the coconut starts frying, I'm coming back.
You don't see coconut.
Just on the floor, like.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch over there.
And they sprout and make coconut trees.
You ever ate sprouted coconut?
No, I really want
Seen that
to.
before. Like
Yeah.
so like a coconut.
I ain't gonna worry
fresh
about
in
that.
the middle.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. If
They say it tastes like vanilla almost.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, with the rich
I gotta
coconut
try that.
flavor.
It sounds
Yeah.
delicious. I love
Real
coconut.
tool for that.
What's that?
I got the real tool for this.
This joint done locked up though, babe.
What the?
The sawzall. You okay?
Oh, we got.
It's called a saw.
Oh, look. See this at the top? That's how you lock it.
That's
So you
what I
gotta
thought.
flick that to the other side.
Cutting today needs to go to that.
All these thick ones,
Yeah.
dude. Those ones can't easily. You know what I would suggest do? Just some of the cassavas that you got, the tall ones, soften them low and allow them to. I want it.
Trust me, I would have already done
Dude,
that.
I always forget about the dude.
It's
That's
a
whole
thing
factory,
here.
yeah.
So there's certain, like, this Mexican sunflower took so long to get established because the deer is picking them.
Yeah.
They'll eat young Mexican sunflower.
So would it be hard for it to reestablish?
Not the next one. Next one's the mulberry.
Got you.
To reestablish?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't care at this point. Because in the summer, they'll manage it. And honestly, if some of it phased out, it wouldn't be a problem.
You can start introducing other things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this starfruit looks pretty good. Like, this guy will take off now.
Oh yeah.
He's got a little starfruit on it. It doesn't look right though. Actually, I'll do that.
Got a couple.
Jesus, that's a whole lot. I didn't even realize it's so much.
Yeah. Kayla, I love what you're doing. Just keeping in mind there is somewhere, you know what a sapodilla is?
Yeah.
Okay, sapodilla is right there. See that leaf?
Oh,
Sapodilla is in the ground right
perfect.
there.
I see him.
And then there's obviously the starfruit there.
Yes.
Okay. And then there's the ice cream bean on the other side.
Beautiful.
Everything else, I don't care. So probably falling towards you on the pineapples is probably best if you have it. Or if you could get it to fall this way. Oh, I'm on it. My bad.
Oh, my bad.
No,
I'm
you're
just
good. or if it fell this way. So I'm just
Okay.
kind of giving you a path. I don't
Guiding.
care about the fire brush.
Guiding.
Yeah, just as it comes down. So.
got you.
And then
Okay.
obviously, I think that's the only path route.
It's been a minute since the people seen your work.
Been a minute, what?
Since the people seen you work.
Right.
They just think you're a passenger princess at this point. Oh, damn. Just smack me with a tree, why don't you?
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not used to something that's dense. That's the main thing. Everything's so tight up together. Yeah, they don't know I get sweaty. They don't know.
I guess down. So where's the sapodilla?
Yeah, right?
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he was worried about. He's like, don't let it fall on the stuff.
Right. Put it this way.
Oh, if you guys were wondering, this is what the sunflower looks like, but it's so much prettier when it's in full bloom. Mexican sunflower is just one of my favorite flowers. It's gorgeous. Timber!
Yeah.
Maybe here, like, what do you think that's good?
Look at all this biomass. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
They're the trees, but they coming down. There's so much room now.
There is so much room, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna be able to plant more.
Yep.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming.
This was something. I don't know what this was.
There's a wax myrtle. You can cut it down to a little bit lower, maybe like knee height. Yeah,
Knee?
maybe, yep, a little bit. Yeah, if you need pruning, yeah.
That's
What?
not knee.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
About where you did it is fine, and we'll see if it comes back. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to, but that's fine.
I have some of these canes.
You want to use them on the mature ones.
Yeah, looks like it needs to come.
Like the rocket bananas, these are little toasted. But even these, you could cut them out. I know.
A boot full of dirt.
There's
Never heard.
dirt in my boot.
Instead of letting it.
That thing got roots all in the junction.
Yeah, man. Oh, again.
That's my fault.
This stump is massive. Massive. I'm like,
Want me to get up in there
and where?
and do it?
Yeah, you can. I'm more so I'm looking around because behind it is the Inga bean, and then oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Even the cameraman works. It looks like it's gonna rain, thank God.
Maybe 4, and then you won't have so much.
That's gonna be so beautiful for the prune. A nice good rain.
If you come back in 2 weeks, watch what happens. That stimulus in the soil, that thing.
Yeah.
Watch, it's gonna come alive.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna grow faster in the next 2 weeks than it has been.
And so you decided to take down the arch?
I did.
Oh, good.
As much as I like it, I want to. And
Right.
It'll be healthier.
Yeah, and you can actually harvest. You're tall, but I don't know if you're that tall.
I know, right? It was definitely out of reach.
Yeah, we should probably spread this out. Cam, you also want these sages chopped down, you said?
Like with this clump here and see what came off of water.
I still see the kneesberry. Wait, no, this isn't kneesberry.
Fijoa.
Pijoa?
This is Fijoa or pineapple guava.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is pineapple guava. So yeah, these tropical stages next to me can go. Yeah, those can go.
Okay.
Same with this guy. This could be cut down to the ground. Any of this can be cut down to the ground. The only thing that really needs to stay is just the sapo.
Okay. So the sapa and both of those need to stay. Okay.
Yeah. There's two here. So there's one here and one's over there. So there's only one right here.
Okay.
And then same thing with the bananas. Oh, did this come down with the rack on it? Yeah, this was not healthy. See that?
Oh.
Anyways, it's all good. Yeah, we'll get that down. And then after what you're doing, we'll thin the banana.
Okay.
That'll take a while. Yeah, I'll take that.
You want me to do it? I might cut someone.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna cut this because this is too intimate.
You're better identifying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too close.
Mm-hmm.
See, I still got the archway.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, good, baby.
Oh. It is? Yeah.
I was telling Cam that this whole
That's cool though
The
that they're
surrounding-
actually there.
I told him the
'Cause a lot of times they
surrounding
don't.
forest should get pruned because when vines come through,
Yeah.
the forest wants to be reset.
And
So the
look
vine's
at
trying
me.
to bring down the forest to reset it. Choke it out.
Hey, choke it out with some grapes.
Yeah.
So these are muscadine
By the way,
grapes.
they would fruit more if you did. Think about this. That's wild though. I normally don't. I feel like I see them all the time, but rarely ever.
I never seen them fruit. I never. Yeah.
Like when Cam first told me that was his grape, I didn't believe him almost. Because I was like, bro, those never have grapes on them though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I kind of believed him because it looked just like it, but... So which way did he want to walk it?
Away from the avocado. To be honest, I think we'll just leave it as is. Let it get some fruit out of it, because unless if you cut off some leaves. Here.
I cut out like 4 of them already, so it's probably fine now. Another one somewhere.
Yeah, because maybe you could just lift up the skirt a bit. Just knock off some more leaves.
I was just right there.
Oh.
I couldn't see you at all. Wow. There's a black racer in there with you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, pay attention. If you
Good
care.
to know.
Was that a snake?
Yeah. It was with me and then it went over. Damn. Getting that sweat equity in today. So yeah, Mike, when can we pull up on you?
Let me know. I am out of town next week for Mango Fest.
Okay.
Going Mango Fest in Palm Beach, but I'm also going down there to check out some more farms,
Okay.
connect with some folks.
Word.
I'm
we were
going to
thinking about pulling up the Mango Fest too.
the one in West Palm.
Yeah.
There's a few happening. And then there's one in Pine Island, I think, this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's one in Pine Island.
Maybe we can go to that one with your mom.
Yeah.
Oh no, we got a tour on Sunday.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to the one in West Palm Beach at the convention center.
Okay.
My dad just moved back to South Florida, so
Damn.
I'll be visiting him too. So it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
So anytime between Tuesday, I have the guys coming out there. We're going to be planting a Centropic line on Tuesday.
I'm thinking like maybe a month from now.
A month from now? Yeah, that's fine. I don't have anything planned. We do have a big planting event in partnership of Ideas that it's a 2-day event, July 12th and 13th. But on July 12th, I will be doing a small lecture on Syntropic agroforestry.
Okay.
And I'll also talk about, we'll do a little bit of management and also collect propagation material.
Okay.
And then Sunday we have a huge planting day. We're planting like 75 mangoes, 40 lychees, 400
And what day is
carandias.
that?
That's
Sunday.
July 13th. So it's a 2-day event. You don't have to attend both days. It's live on the Eventbrite because we're only taking 30 folks to
Okay.
come in. And yeah, it's in partnership of Ideas and Arbor Day Foundation. So we'll be planting a whole new Centropic agroforestry system, 2 blocks that are 30 by 75 feet. And then we'll be plugging in and filling in some gaps in the the current systems I have now.
Got you.
So that's July 12th and 13th. After that, it's fine. August is when we start up our nursery again actually late July. Mid to late July, nursery starts up for market garden season, vegetable season.
Right.
Got you.
So yeah,
Maybe
just let me know.
So maybe
Yeah,
the
exactly.
weekend after that, like the Sunday after that.
I know
Yeah.
July 12th is the day that.
It's nice to see if you come see the farm in different phases because when
Yeah.
it's lush
Yeah.
and full out and versus management. Because my management is a little bit heavier. So the management in July, that beginning of July, I'm bringing a lot of things. Like right now, if you come now, it's very forest-like.
Okay.
By it gets to July when we plant, I have to reset.
Okay.
You always want to create some sort of disturbance before putting plants back in and resow. So anytime you have a disturbance, like Cam here, in the next few days, he'll be coming in and plugging in. So this is your opportunity to add more support species, add more desirable crops,
Right.
or more desirable fruit trees when the disturbance happen. So.
Okay.
Because now you got more sunlight, you can plant things. So there's this whole growth pull that's happening here. So they'll also benefit
okay.
from that.
Right.
'Cause then also you could get real geeky and do it with the moon cycle as well.
Yeah.
So when you get pruning Centropic agroforestry, it really encourages pruning in a waning moon.
Oh, okay.
And then planting in a new moon. So after you do the heavy reset from the waning moon, when the new moon starts coming into the new moon, that's when you could go back, start filling in. So that's the rhythm.
Wow.
So
I wish I would have had that
Wow.
on my phone. I did a video about that because I plant seeds during the full moon.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So
The water. Oh,
it's the water cycle, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
so-
right now, as it's waning down to a new, all the water nutrients is moving towards the root because plants is full of water. The
Yeah.
cycle, it's always pumping up and
That
down,
makes
pumping
sense,
up, down.
right.
So right now, when it comes into pruning, not all that energy is up to the leaves. All that energy is down to that root. So all that energy is going down there, and that's why this growth, like this is gonna. We come back here 4 weeks from now, it's going to be twice as lush.
Yeah.
And that's just because now all that energy is moving down. We're
Wow.
pruning that, dropping everything, and then once that energy starts to move up, it's just going to come up with some force.
That's
So
crazy.
That's the cycle.
and you talk about the sun, how it's summertime.
Yeah.
It's even more photosynthesizing.
Synthesizing, yep.
Yeah.
The rains are here,
Mm-hmm.
and that's typically when you want to prune too. But then there's also these little nuances in Centropic that sometimes you want to prune when the system is stressing, or like if
Yeah.
you're going through a drought and you got some like your desirable target species, we'll get a lot of the biomass and put it there because that also helps stimulate some growth as well. And then all that organic matter is moisture being fed into the soil to your desirable, and it'll encourage more root growth as well.
Yeah.
And that's
Right.
the thing too, because then it's sometimes some plants you need that good positive stress to encourage more. That's why irrigation is a blessing and a curse, because there's an art behind irrigating. You don't want to irrigate too frequent. You want to do long, less frequent, but deep, long watering cycles, so it can really push water deep into the soil. If you water on a daily basis, and for a short period of time, you're only collecting water on that surface, so the roots are only going to stay where they're happy. And if they're happy up in that surface, then they're not going to go down. So when your irrigation goes out, and your plants are going to start suffering, they're like, where's my life support?
Yeah, and
And you didn't give that healthy period of really helping develop deep tap roots.
Exactly.
So that's essential with irrigation. But this is the time of year when it's abundance. There's more energy coming in. So
it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
For sure. But this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I can't wait to
Yeah,
have
we've
y'all
been
out.
having
Yeah, I
a
can't wait till you have out to the farm.
We're
Yeah.
just gonna geek out for
Yeah.
a couple hours.
It's there's a lot, and I have different system designs to cater to different things. So
Gotcha.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
'cause
Everyone's been talking about you.
yeah.
Literally since our
So
first
excited.
tour.
Literally, I've been so
Who was the
excited.
first one?
Pat.
Pat? Oh,
Yeah.
that was the first one.
Yeah, Pat was
Yeah,
my
he's
second tour.
he's a big cheerleader of mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said you're the authority.
Oh,
Literally.
I didn't realize Pat was your first one. I did watch the video of you talking to Pat, and I'm like, God damn, Pat, calm down.
Yeah.
I love you, bro. I appreciate the love, but calm down. I am not the authority.
He was like, yeah, Mike.
The only thing is I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to talk about what I'm doing.
Yeah, no,
And I'm afraid
we're
to
just
fuck up.
Very honored and blessed
Yeah.
that you chose this because you can give so much wisdom.
Yeah.
Like this is definitely your purpose because you're just a fountain of knowledge.
I
Like it just
appreciate it, yeah.
spews out your pores.
Yeah.
Just in your work.
Literally.
Like it's like okay, this is
I
what
love-
I should be doing.
I love to play in the forest.
Yeah, we
I
can
love
tell.
playing in the garden.
We can
I
tell.
love plants, so
it's great.
yeah.
We love to
Yeah.
be a part of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's all love, man.
The authority.
Oh yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. Y'all can make it out to that July 12th and 13th
I
event.
want to. What
Yeah.
time does it start?
7:30.
A.M.
Yeah, it'll be 7:30 to 11:30.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if I come in late, is that?
No,
I
that's
can't.
fine. I'll have you. You can stop in.
Where are you
Okay.
located?
What?
Everoak. It's
Everoak.
off of
It's
Prune.
off of no, not Corinne. 436 in Old Cheney or
Oh,
State
okay.
Road 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Not
Just
not
outside
far.
Baldwin Park.
Dixie.
Yeah.
Is it by Dharma?
Yes, right
Yeah.
down the street from Dixie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right where
Yeah,
Old
'cause Dixie-
Cheney
I'm
goes
on
to
20,
50.
yeah.
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 The new one, right? Where
Yeah.
Carolyn's
So,
is. Yeah.
the Dix, they're on the east side
Yeah.
of 436. I'm on the west side of 436. So as soon as you go past Dixie Dharma towards 436 and go over there, that's the neighborhood I'm tucked away.
Got
I'm
it.
about like a mile and a half into the neighborhood from Dixie Dharma.
Beautiful. So you're still like in the city doing
I
all
am
this?
in the city doing this. I just have 3 acres of
Awesome.
Yeah.
plain. So,
Congrats, man. That's
yeah.
beautiful.
So
This is luscious.
yeah,
F.
yeah.
I'm so excited for it to rain, and I
Yeah.
definitely.
We haven't been getting much rain.
Yeah.
But I definitely got to see this in 2 weeks. Like you said, everything just
Yeah.
takes off. Because all these nitrogen fixers, they're encouraging growth to the other plants too. So
Yep.
It's amazing. Let me get my phone. I think I've done my work. Somebody has 24 minutes of banana trees. There's nothing being recorded.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna stop that for you guys.
That might have been Tyler. Was that you, Tyler? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
Tyler.
Tyler got 24 minutes of a banana tree.
You might see it grow. Maybe. Time lapse. Don't ask me where your phone is. I don't know.
String trimmer, but with yeah, just so you know, when you want to do
Oh my gosh.
the Napier, right at that level.
Don't let me forget my sawzall.
It's gonna shoot out blades.
No, I was
So
I was noticing how some
Sure, yeah.
yeah, you definitely.
Unless anybody else needs it.
This is also hard to cut low with machetes and stuff. It's very takes out a lot of energy. So the brush cutters with the 3 blades on it, but not like it.
I might try it. Let me see that. I got an idea on something.
You want to try it on you?
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to try it on the ones that haven't. Hold it for 1 sec. No. 5 seconds.
So I'm just switching to camp so you know, in case if you do have Napier, you never want to cut Napier this high because then it's same thing with the Tithonia. It just gets thicker and more woodier, and then it starts brushing out here. You would want to cut it right at that soil line to encourage flushing, like thinner canes and more grass blades. So, because at this point too, with a machete, this is thick to hit, and it uses a lot of energy, like your own energy. So, yeah, always cut this and manage it as low as possible off the bat, because like I said, with the Tithonia, it kind of has that same response. But it is easy to cut through. I told him you can use a brush cutter with a blade on it, like the 3 blade on it, and just hack it right at the soil line. It'll chew right through it.
Is that
Or-
what he's doing?
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Cause trying to do that with a machete.
Yeah.
I was doing it, but yeah, this is a lot easier.
Now I might take those canes to propagate, bro. You got thicker, yeah, you got thicker canes because all mine's have been cut so many times. My canes keep getting smaller.
Watch out, he's taking a picture too.
That we might be pulling from
Oh, you might want to leave it then.
Hold on, I'm just trying to wrap.
Yeah, these are like, this is to me the
Now he's
perfect
taking pictures.
propagation canes right here. These are the good propagation canes. Yeah, mine aren't getting as thick as they used to be.
Yeah, I'll take a few too. The ones that Malachi gave me that were thicker, they rooted so much easier.
They grow, when they're like that thick,
Throw them in the yard, they grow.
yeah, right on the surface.
Oh wow.
Amazing. Perfect. Oh look, it has a root already right
Alright, get this big board down.
there. Yeah, this is abundance. I could take Mexican sunflower by the boatload. Not that I need it, but if I did.
Where at?
Bugs getting you.
Yeah, that's creating the perfect environment for them.
Dang it.
That's
Was it
my
ants?
entire life,
Yeah.
bro, getting stung by wasp
Let
managing.
me take care of this and then I'm gonna get that napier.
I prune the grass 3 times before
I'm saying, bro, I love these. They're heavy.
even after, before.
Like them. Be delicious.
It's like glowing.
Yo, this tree almost got killed by deer.
By a deer?
Yeah, you see the trunk? They're like, they basically like rub their antlers.
Again?
Again. They're in front of the mangoes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
All three of y'all, come on.
We were pointing out the fact that this mango tree almost died last year.
Wow.
But how
the
did
bucks in this neighborhood, they rub their antlers on the trunk to like try to break them off and then to mess the tree up.
damn.
Yeah,
Got some tough antlers.
yeah, man. They do it on big trees too, but the bigger trees are strong enough to like
yeah.
come off.
It's like they're sharpening their antlers.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Tarzan.
Sound effects on.
Okay, come on.
All right, so talking about the principles of syntropic agroforestry or syntropic agriculture or syntropic farming, however you want to dress it. So syntropic is actually referred to syntropy. It has nothing to do with the tropics or whatnot. You can do this in temperate, Mediterranean climate, subtropic, tropical. So syntropic is actually referred to syntropy. So syntropy is the accumulation of abundance. It's going from simple to complex. And the opposite of syntropy is entropy, which is going from complex to simple. Here's some prime examples of syntropy and entropy playing out. The sun itself is a form of entropy, complex ball of energy, dispersing, total chaos of energy being dispersed. And then here's the earth as an intelligent organism, as an intelligent superorganism, capturing and harnessing that energy and organizing it into a form of complexity. So earth itself, syntropy, the sun, entropy. Another example, a log is a form of syntropy. Here's this consolidation, complex form of carbon and energy being stored. And then as soon as that burns off, that now refers and goes back into entropy, because now all that complexity is being dispersed back into total chaos until something captures and holds on and brings syntropy to it again. So some prime examples of syntropy and entropy playing out. Going back to the 5 principles we practice in syntropic agroforestry is maximize photosynthesis, keep the ground covered, stratification, ecological succession, and management. So management's the big thing. You're doing 5% planting, 95% management. The management comes in to manage and push forward in succession. So ecological succession we know like this grass right here is the beginning part of a forest. This is a forest right here. This lawn, this grassy area is a forest in the making, which then succession plays out. Grass comes up, short shrubby trees comes out of that. Then the longer, bigger trees, you can see a form of a forest behind us. Even though it's a sick forest and it's actually coming down, you can tell the forest wants to be reset in this context here because all the vines. So this is actually, there's a form of management that needs to be done here, which nature has its own form. It's just a very slow process. That's where humans come in, and then it's part of that natural system and come in management and really push it forward in succession. So going back to succession, we like to put things in different phases, and it's understanding the life cycle of every plant out there. From your placenta 1, 2 to secondary species to your climax species. So the lifespan of a radish from seed to seed is about 45 days. When you plant that seed and it goes to seed, versus mangoes has a lifespan of like 50 plus years. Versus papaya has a lifespan of 2 to 5 years. So a radish is a placenta species because of that short life cycle. Anything a year under is typically placenta. Those are your pioneer species. Those are the ones that are paving the way to really push forward into succession. Bananas is a secondary species. The cassia is a secondary species. Macadamia is a climax. The nona is a climax. So understanding the life cycle. Peaches is a secondary species. So understanding the life cycle of where these plants fit into that succession. Because at some point every plant has a time and place until the conditions change that plant served its purpose in that ecological succession and eventually works its way out. Like all the grass is coming through here, 5 years from now when this is properly managed, it's going to be a heavy set canopy. That grass is not going to be able to thrive in there because we alter and change the conditions for it. But for now, nature doesn't want to keep the ground bare. It always wants to stay covered. So every time you come and till, when the weeds come up, that's the restart of succession. It's just nature naturally doing its thing. It's like when we get a cut, that little plaque that starts to heal the process, that's the same thing when we tear up the land. That's what's happening. That's ecological succession starts there. Then those quick growing weeds, because they've been ecologically designed that way to really cover the ground, because we always want to be the soil photosynthesizing. We always want to pump energy and sugar into the soil to feed the microbial activity. So that's it in a nutshell. I wish I had a whiteboard to get to get more in depth into it. So yeah, keeping ground cover, maximizing. So the maximized photosynthesis too is we're also layering. So in traditional permaculture forestry, they like to focus on the physical structure of the plant. Let me actually go back. Yeah, I guess this kind of leads into what strata is. So they like to look at the physical structure of the plant. Like if it's a short shrubby bush, is it a tall tree, is it a ground cover? Versus in Centropic agroforestry, we use strata for our layering, which is the light requirement of the plant. So we focus on what the light requirement that the plant wants. So you have emergent, high strata, medium, and low. So the best way I explain those stratas is emergents are plants that want full 100% sun. They're giving me every single force of it. Those a placenta strata would be, a placenta emergent would be corn, sunflower, okra, those are a few examples. High strata would be plants that want like 80% sun. Like give me a little bit of shade, but not too much. So lettuce would be an example of a high strata. You grow lettuce in a medium or low strata or a very shady area, it becomes leggy. But if it's in its proper strata, it's not going to be too hot and stressing that it becomes super bitter. It might be like exerting much darker leaves. But if you put it in that proper strata, it's going to be happy and it's going to perform how how it wants to express itself. And that's another thing why we use certain stratas, the stress response of the plants, because we always assume all plants want 100% sun. That's not true. Because pest and disease is a stress response, and if the plant's stressing with lack of nutrients or too much of nutrients, or not in its proper strata, it's not maximizing on its photosynthesis, and it has the potential of attracting pests and disease to it. It's just like us when we overwork ourselves and then we end up getting low. Same thing with the plants. If they're overworking themselves in a condition they don't want to be in, or they don't have the proper nutrients, they're going to exert the symptoms of the stress that they're dealing with or attract those pests. Going back to strata, medium strata is like anything 60%, and then low is 50% and below. 50% and below. So high strata, going back to plant species, so your placenta would be like most vegetables we grow are high strata. Your brassicas, some brassicas even prefer more sun, but brassicas, tomato, all your nightshades, your cucurbits, some cucurbits actually can float into that medium strata. Most beans can fit between that medium and high strata. So those are your placenta. Medium would be essentially some squash is medium. So a good example of stratification playing out if you look at the three sisters.
Right.
Corn, emergent, bean, medium, corn emergent, bean high, and squash medium. Gotcha. Not really low. There's not a lot of low placenta type species that really like shade. Another bromeliads or pineapples are low strata, so most houseplants are low strata, just to put it in that context. Yeah, this is why I wish I have a board to stay on track.
You're staying on track.
Yeah.
Very well.
I'm also bouncing back because then going back to the maximizing photosynthesis, we're also layering. So instead of planting one or two layers that we're only capturing about 100% of the energy being here, we're layering at 200%. So you want your emergent layer to occupy 20% of that canopy. And this is just a general framework. It's not like a hard, like, hey, I got to keep it at this percentage. But if you break it down into theoretical and you have a goal to work towards, like your emergent canopy should occupy 20%. The high strata should occupy at 60. Then it's 80-20 if I recall. Or sorry, 40%. Yeah, it will be 40, then 60 if I recall.
200%.
Yeah, so try and get to 200%. So 20, then 60, damn, this is why I need the board.
80, and then 40 low.
So then your low, you want it to be as much as possible to capture that last bit of energy. But anyways, I can't think of the math right now. But anyways, where you kind of prune your strata or whatever species you have to occupy that layer and to occupy that space, and then all in all, you have about 200% of energy being accumulated of carbon and energy and sugars and whatnot. And that's the goal, is to maximize that. Because like I said, nothing on Earth gets wasted. Like even the light, there's always something capturing that last bit of filter light hitting the bottom force floor. So
the purpose of Centropic is
so it's more or less Centropic is more, you could also call it successional agricultural or successional farming, because you're using ecological succession to push it and forward to have little inputs as possible.
Gotcha.
So depending on your context will dictate how you can start. If you're in an area where there's a lack of resources and it's super degraded, that you can't get compost, you can't get wood chips, so you're going to focus on building out in an accumulation system. So even before we even bring our desirable tree species in there, we're just going to focus on a few years accumulating that energy into the soil. So say you're in a super rural area, no resources, you're going to focus on pioneer species and those invasive to be your abundance, your accumulation system. So Napier, Tithonia, cassava, they can do well in very poor soils. So you might just plant those out, chop and drop and keep feeding it, and then throw in some like nitrogen fixers like pigeon peas and cowpeas and stuff like that, and keep building that. Once that complexity starts forming, that's when you can also go back and start planting seeds directly in there to do that. So that's why if you come to the workshop, I'll talk more and talk about seed bombs and building seed bombs, and every time we're planting seeds, because we're mimicking nature. Nature is never stagnant. Seeds are always being planted within. If you think about birds grabbing seeds from here, flying in, they have a little branch here to perch. They drop their waste, they plant a seed there. Now that plant starts to germinate, and then it germinates and it's there stagnant, and this is where succession plays out. So we'll use the cassia for a bit. So grassland came here, then suddenly say the bird drops this. This is in a natural system, and like if humans weren't interfering with, like I said, we're mimicking it. So imagine a group of hogs come through, they tear up the land. That's a form of tillage. All right, after the hogs did their heavy disturbance, then they stir up the seed banks. All right, the seed banks come up. We got grasses coming up. We have maybe some Bidens popping through here. And then, you know what, there's a seed bank of some cassias in there. Finally, the cassias come. So the grass comes in real quick, it's emerging, but then suddenly the cassia germinates and it occupies. It eventually kind of shades out the bottom a bit over the years. And then a bird comes here, perches, drops another seed here, which might be a bigger tree. And then eventually that germinates. Then a hurricane comes through, snaps a branch. Now that tree that's been sitting underneath this plant finally gets its pruning and its disturbance and the sunlight it wants, and then it gets to emerge. That's kind of ecological succession playing now. So that's where the management comes in. As us as humans, we can accelerate that. We can intentionally plant the species we want to manage into the system, into it. So be that bird to plant the seeds, be the hog to till up the land, be the hurricane that does the pruning, or be the deer that comes through and knocks off the tips of these to stimulate good healthy growth, and to also make sure the next succession that's hiding in the understory of the plant is able to come through and shine. So that's it in a nutshell.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, right? That deserves a standing ovation.
For real.
I followed along the whole time.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm amazed.
I lose track. My mind gets ramble because there's so much little nuances to
Yeah.
it, and then it's
Well,
very simple but complex.
You explained it
Just
beautifully.
observe nature, and you're just mimicking natural processes.
Yeah.
And we just select certain species because they have a desirable trait to be able to achieve what we're wanting to do. And that's where it comes into context of the gardener, the farmer, of what species they want to manage. If you want a very abundant, and if you're on degraded soil, you might want to manage you might want to incorporate some very heavy producers like a Napier or Tithonia, but maybe you want something a little bit more hands-off. You ready to jumpstart the system. Like another thing too, when you add compost and wood chips, you're jumpstarting that system 5 years into succession. Like just think about that. Like when we use compost and wood chips, like you're jumpstarting that system of that degraded soil, and then from that point on, you let succession play out and let those systems feed itself. But that's essentially it.